but you owe me an apology.
Why?
You sent me a video the other
Oh,
day, and you said
do we have to talk
that
about this?
Sam Darnold, my quarterback, my starting QB1, is dating Hawk Tuah girl. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Read Option presented by Good Time Media. I'm Wyatt. That's Jenna, the show where you learn about books if you want, or learn about football, whatever you want. You're gonna learn. Today,
We're gonna learn.
week, you're gonna learn. This is an educational program, strictly educational. It's for the kids. We're giving back. We have week 6 of the NFL season,
Oh,
and then 7.
this is our 7th show, I think.
No, not true.
Yeah,
We did
because we started the week before the NFL started, didn't we?
I think we started 2 weeks before.
Oh,
But I think this is week 7 because Vikings had a bye, so I was going off their record. We're 5-1, so this was week 7, and we are talking about the middle third ish of People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and then some other stuff. But Jenna, how was your reading this week?
it was very slow during the week, which is kind of how it goes for me. I feel like being a teacher, kind of the last thing I want to do when I get home is read.
Fair.
But Sunday I cranked out like 150 pages. I got to a point where like you couldn't really stop,
Yep.
you know.
So for those reading along with us, we stopped right before chapter 25.
Where did we say we were going to stop?
I think around that point.
Okay.
I think we
I
said
just don't
around
remember exactly which one.
200 something. So if someone's really mad that we didn't read far enough or read too far from what we said last week, please let us know.
I'm sure it'll be okay.
It would genuinely make my day if someone's pissed. Oh, they read one chapter more than they said they would. I'm pissed. So please, if you are in that boat, let us know. So we'll talk about that towards the end. We're gonna start with football this week.
Are we not
But
going to do our top 5s?
we're that, but I'm prepping those who are tuning in, being like, let's talk. Let's do some book talk. But we're gonna start with football because we have some headlines to get to. So if you want to skip ahead, go for it. But I will chastise you for it. Let's do our top 5s.
Okay,
Jenna?
I always go first.
So ladies first. Do you want me to go first? Are you foregoing my
It's fine.
chivalry?
It's fine.
Okay. Also, do you want to yell at people in the TikTok comments before you do this? Because people get mad at your top 5 lists. And I do apologize, but
Okay, I don't mind someone kindly disagreeing with me, but it's these men in the comments that say things to make me feel stupid just solely because I'm a woman. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and so this is what again, I should have probably prepped you more knowing
My
because
skin
I'm
is
seeing
not thick enough.
yeah, so it's funny seeing the difference too because I know how sports fans are. I live with them all the time. I physically live with them, and we're kind of the worst people because I am doing the same thing you are, where I'm kind of a fish out of water. I'm throwing myself in this book stuff. Jenna, I think you got to do what I'm doing. I'm going full in, king of the books. I'm a book guy now. I think you have to
Yeah, see, but if
full heel
I
turn.
came into that with that same confidence, I would get destroyed even more.
No, this is when you double down and be like, your team sucks. You're a Steelers fan. Congrats. You have Russell. That's a bad example for this week, but
I don't like
you should go at their
I
team.
don't like
Be
confrontation. I don't wanna fight with anybody.
that's the problem with the sports world. It's people just fish for it. They're
Hey,
yearning
I
for.
feel like I say this every single episode, and I'm gonna say it once and never
Mhm.
again.
Okay.
I am just a girl who is trying to learn about football. Never did I ever claim that I am a football expert. So, of course, you're gonna disagree with a lot of the things that I say.
Love it.
That's the
Speak your
point of
truth.
learning.
And yeah, and that's the best part of this show is you're doing that, and I'm doing the same thing. But the book audience has been very
Much
kind to me.
kinder.
You're
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting DMs with recommendations, you guys add this to the list, and then we'll talk about some of the people commenting about our book stuff later. But yeah, they're so kind. I love it. So I do feel bad. You're kind of getting the short end of the stick from the comment section. So hopefully people on the YouTube are nicer, but yeah, people don't for some reason the sports talk
It's so
people are
hypocritical
it is.
because it's
It
like,
is.
you gotta start somewhere.
Exactly. There have been a few positive comments. People are like, "This is good."
Yeah,
We're
a
seeing people.
few.
It's got to start
I
somewhere.
know.
But I do. We want to appreciate those people. We want to shout those people out
Yeah,
because then we can
thanks for
hopefully
being
get more of
nice
them.
to me.
There you go. Anyways, what's your top 5 for this week?
Okay, now I feel like I've gotta preface it quite a bit.
Okay.
Um, I did top 5 football couples.
Oh,
So,
I'm
my
nervous for you.
preface here is these are couples that, like, I have known in my lifetime. A lot of the women are, like, famous people, obviously, because that's, like, the pop culture stuff is what I enjoy.
Okay.
And they're not all still together. Actually, most of them are, but
Okay.
this list could have been so much longer. It was really hard.
We should do. We'll do a special episode maybe while we're in between books. We can like tier rank athlete couples.
Okay.
That'd be fun. Like make a full tier ranking and put that out. But so this is all romantic relationships.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no like Red Sox Yankees like coupled together. Like that's never mind.
No,
Sorry.
these are men that play football and somebody they
Gotcha.
were dating or married to.
So very literal couples. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Floor is yours.
Number 5, I have Russell Wilson and Sierra.
Mr. and Mrs. Unlimited.
Why? Because he's Mr. Unlimited?
Have, have you seen that video?
No.
Oh, Jenna, you love to throw the term ick around.
Yeah.
I feel
It
like
would give
this
me
is
the
gonna.
ick.
Oh my gosh, Jenna, I'm sorry to cut your list off. I don't want to cut off anymore, but you have to. We have to take a second for you to watch this video.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, are you
I'm gonna
texting
see if
it to
I'm
me?
gonna try to find it. There's 2 videos actually that came out back to back, which has turned the entire internet against Russell Wilson.
Like,
So
recently? Wait,
no, this was
no.
a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So
'Cause he's with the Steelers, right?
yes.
Okay.
So there's one where he's filming promo for like, during the football games on the big screen, they'll be like, fans, let's get going. Like, let's get loud. There's someone released behind the scenes footage of him recording all those, and it's brutal to watch.
Everybody has to have an alter ego, right? And I've been thinking about what my alter ego would be, and I think I have an alter ego.
Oh, why is he stuttering so hard? I don't
Keep watching.
His name's Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you gotta be unlimited. You gotta have a thought process of being unlimited. So when people ask you, what you're thinking about or what you want to do in life or where you want to go, you gotta be unlimited. Tell them I'm unlimited. Everybody has to have a.
I hated every second of that. I think I'm gonna have a rash from watching that.
Hey, we got one more coming your way.
Is it
Oh,
worse? Why does he say it? Is he? Ugh.
I don't know. I don't know.
Had to have been doing that on purpose.
Yeah, he put it out himself. No one was
No,
that
no, no.
comfortable.
I mean, like the way he was saying it.
Probably. All right, just sent the other one. Broncos country.
Let's ride.
Perfect. Okay. One more time. Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Oh God, having to watch that many times should be illegal.
Oh man. But yeah, so that's the Russell Wilson lore. That's why people like to make fun of him strictly because of those 2 videos.
Well, it makes complete sense. I think
Yeah,
he kind
so
of deserves it.
sorry to cut into your list now,
That's
but
fine. But
that
now,
was number
like,
5. Maybe not on your list.
yeah, like Sierra is so cool. I'm shocked.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Ew. Okay.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Okay. Number 4 is Rob Gronkowski and Camille. I think it's Kostek. I would assume.
I have no idea.
You don't know them?
I didn't know.
Oh my
Are they
God.
currently dating?
She was a cheerleader on the team that he was playing for and was like forbidden.
Forebode.
Okay, whatever. She wasn't allowed to talk to him. Like, it
Oh,
was, like, NFL rules, like, the cheerleaders aren't allowed to have any communication with the team. And it was, like, all this drama when it came out, but she's, like, a supermodel.
wow.
Yeah, they're
Good
really
for them.
adorable.
They broke the rules together. That's like
I don't know
a
that they
book.
broke the rules, I think it was after she had left,
Uh,
but
it's Gronk. They broke the rules.
okay. Number 3, I had to, Travis and Taylor.
I'm
I
surprised
mean,
there's 3.
well, it'll make sense.
Okay.
Um, they're adorable. I love Taylor, whatever. Okay.
I will say this about their relationship. It has sent every sports fan into 2 different boats. It is so polarizing because you have the sports fans who are now they were either indifferent on Taylor Swift or didn't really like her, and now for some reason they hate her just because she's dating Travis Kelce. Like they
Yeah.
were indifferent before, they didn't really care. It was like, go do your thing. But they're like we said, they're toxic when someone from outside of our arena enters our arena, people just are ready to fight. And
Yeah.
that's what you saw
I
with
don't
Taylor
get
Swift. As
it.
soon as Taylor Swift came in, they're like, we got to kick her out. She has no
Yeah.
place in our beloved game. And then same thing with you trying to learn football. They're like, no more. We're good. I'm on the other side where, hey, the more the merrier. Let's get everyone in. I love football. Football's great. I bleed for my team every Sunday. I want more people to understand what I go through. So I want more people into this world. Seeing Taylor, there's a clip of Taylor during um one of Travis's games. I think there was a penalty or something, and it cuts to her, and she's standing up, and she very clearly mouths, "I'm gonna."
I saw that.
And that I saw that, I was like, that is the most relatable Taylor Swift has ever been.
Yeah.
That moment, I was like, she gets it. She understands because that's me on my couch every Sunday.
Yeah. No, football people aren't super inclusive, and I think I get some of the annoyance because I do think, like, the NFL TikTok account posts her a lot. Like, whenever she's at a game, they're posting videos, and I get that. Like, you're not watching the game to see her, but a
Mhm.
lot of women are, and that's attracting a lot of viewers for them. Like,
So here's a question, not to play devil's advocate, but Swifties are also not, I wouldn't say the most inclusive group. Sometimes they gatekeep and they're like, I know more about Taylor than you do.
yeah.
But also, what if like a lot of the heirs to her, I'm not saying she does this, but you started to see they started showing a lot of Travis, and Travis was showing up all the time. Do you think Swifties would turn on him? Or would it just because Taylor's happy with him, we love this so much? Is there a small part of the Swifties who are like, this is too much Travis?
No.
Interesting.
No, like, when he came out on stage and was,
It
like,
was
part of
huge.
it, like, everybody was obsessed with it.
But what if he did that every time?
I guess maybe, but Taylor's not doing it every time either. Like, it's not like she's at every single game.
Yeah, she's also at most, and there's
She
only, what,
is.
17, 20 games?
That's true.
So
That is
it
true.
probably feels
I
like more
just feel like
exaggerated.
us girls are like, it's like when you read a really good book and it's a really cute couple. Like, girls are just more obsessed with that than men are.
Interesting. All
But
right. All right.
okay,
Number 2.
number 2 is Reggie Bush and Kim Kardashian.
I
That's
didn't
like
even know this.
not super old school because obviously we're not that old, but like
Yeah.
this was when I was growing up and I was pretty young, and my sisters would watch like early Kardashians, and she was dating Reggie Bush throughout like one of the seasons. And
Interesting.
yeah.
I'd say I feel like I knew that, but I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Um, Good for Reggie, man.
She loved Reggie. She did.
Wait,
I think he cheated.
was this pre or post uh Ray J?
Post Ray. Yeah, post Ray J, because the show was post Ray J.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay. All
I
right. Good to
think.
know. That sounds right.
Okay. And then number 1, Jason and Kylie Kelsey.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I
I
think
Yeah.
they are just so wholesome and aren't like affected by all of the media that they get. Like, I just think they're a very genuine couple.
Yes. And it's funny because I feel like for the most part, football fans love her.
Yeah.
which is interesting. I don't know what the difference is there. And Jason's a different type of football guy than Travis.
Yeah,
He's a football guy.
right.
Travis is a little more eccentric.
I
I
would
think
agree.
Jason is just like
Very
nose in the dirt,
straightforward, yeah.
gritty football player, and just these are typical.
Gritty?
No, Gritty. We'll get to the gritty man later. But yeah, no, I think it's a solid list.
Thanks.
I can get behind that. I'll run through mine pretty quick. Mine is, we talked a couple weeks ago about a trope that I hate is when they just randomly throw in a car crash to like pump up the plot and make it juicier. But these are 5 common tropes that always work for me.
Oh,
Like I will always fall for these. Like I'm always invested when this is a trope that's happening in a movie or book or whatever, just a storyline that
okay.
I can get behind. I didn't order these. This is
Okay.
the first time and I apologize. I can order them
Okay.
later, but
I don't
this is
always
just
order them.
first one. I quoted this or called it the family by choice. So this is when usually amongst kids or high schoolers where it's like a ragtag group of dudes who maybe have a rough home life or just aren't really they're misfits in some capacity,
Yeah.
but their gang is like super close
Mhm.
and like they're a family. So some examples, Stand By Me, which we've talked about.
Uh-huh.
The Goonies,
Yep.
and then more modern Stranger Things. Like when those kids
Mhm.
from different families come together, kind of form their family of their own. I'm a sucker for it every time.
Okay.
Next up, we have I didn't know how to title this one, but it's basically when there's an old man set in his ways, or old woman, I guess, and then there's a young student or person that kind of forces them out of their curmudgeon-y ways.
Mhm.
Best example is Up,
Yeah.
like the animation. That is like the prime example. I couldn't really think of some examples off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a ton out there. But
Mhm.
that kind of, oh, I'm old grumpy, I don't want to do anything, and then this old guy, and it's always a battle because the old guy, the whole movie is like, I don't want to budge, and then they finally do, and it's wholesome. I enjoy that. The third one on my list is this one I don't have an example for, so maybe you can help me with that. It's when a school bully stands up for the people that he would normally bully. You know what I mean? So at the beginning of the movie, he's the bully, and then at the end of the movie, he's like, "No, back off these guys." Why can't I think of it?
The only one that comes to mind is Mean Girls, but not Regina George, Lindsay Lohan in the movie. She like becomes kind of the bully in the middle when she's accepted into the
Yeah,
group, and then by the end she's like out of it. And
I can't think of some right now, but I'm sure there's a billion examples
I'm
of that
sure,
because
yeah.
I feel like that's a very common trope. Last 2 are hand in hand, but also polar opposites. So, one of them is villains that are just evil. There's no moral gray area. They're not like going to eventually become good. They're just crazy evil people. And this is so rare nowadays because when it comes to storytelling, I feel like everyone wants a very nuanced villain that has like maybe he's right, maybe he has some good points. Every now and then you get a villain that is so chaotically evil and just a bad person, which for some reason I think it's because it's so rare. I like it. Cuz sometimes
Who's your
like
example?
um the Joker, the
Okay.
Dark Knight, he's just there's not a lot of gray area there. He's
Okay.
just a bad dude who loves chaos, and like people may say he has some good points in the sense of he's poking holes at society, but also he's just a bad person. Like he's just evil. More recently, um oh, I just had one tip of my tongue. The new now I'm going very nerdy here. The new Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh god.
uh Guardians of the Galaxy 3. What's his name? It's like the executioner or something. Um,
Don't ask.
but he's this terrible human being and he like uh abuses like little animals the whole time. And it's just like the worst. And like this dude sucks. And he never when I was watching this movie, I was waiting for like there to be a flashback scene of why he's like this. They never try to justify it. He's just a bad, terrible person.
Okay.
I mean, like, sometimes that's refreshing.
Okay.
Last thing on my list, though, the exact opposite of that, I do love a redemption story. When the bad guy or villain redeems himself at the end and has this moment of, you know what? I'm sorry for my ways. I'm going to change. This is my, like, sometimes, a lot of times it's like taking a bullet or dying for the heroes.
Mhm.
That happens a ton too. Very recently, we have Loki. Again, I'm going back to MCU stuff, but Loki has a full redemption arc over a lot of movies, but it takes him a bit. Um, Lost has a guy named Sawyer who's very villainy. He's just kind of like not a bad guy, but not the best dude in the world. He has redemption arc. And then from the Bear, you have Richie, who's just like this smug asshole for most of season 1, and they redeem him later on. So like when the bad guy per se has a redemption arc, that's a trope I like. Like it? That's my list.
I like your list, but it's very movie oriented.
You think? Those are just the example. I mean, I don't have a lot of book examples to stem from because I don't read a lot of books, Jenna.
Oh, sorry. Okay, never mind. It's a
But
great
I'm
list.
sure there's got to be a ton of examples.
Yeah, I just think it's
From-
different, like a different.
Fair.
I don't know.
All right. Let's get into NFL stuff. We'll go through some headlines here.
Can I start?
Can I start?
Ah!
There's one thing I need to talk about. We got to clear up, then you can start. This is outside of the realm of football, but you owe me an apology.
Why?
You sent me a video the other day, and you said
Do we have
that
to talk about this?
Sam Darnold, my quarterback, my starting QB1, is dating Tuah girl. And you were fully convinced that this rumor was true, this blasphemous rumor. Nothing against her, but my boy's focused on football right now. He's not worried about Talk Tuah, the podcast. Okay, he's focused on football.
You knew what the podcast was called?
Yeah, I've just got my pulse on the nation right here. I know everything. But you owe me an apology. Apologize.
I don't.
My quarterback is not dating Talk Tuah girl. Hawk Tuah girl.
Okay, confirmed he's not. But I just want to say that I saw so many videos that said they were. Like everybody was saying that in the comments. So I just like said it as like an ask, kind of. It was a question.
So you apologize?
I have nothing to apologize for.
Say you're sorry. You're starting rumors. He's very happy in a relationship. I had a deep dive. I'm not going to expose who she is. She's got like under 2K followers. She's a very nice lady. I had to stalk her and find her on Instagram because I had to defend my boy.
I
would never expose her.
realize
She's
that
a
was
beautiful
like
lady.
a private, like a. Okay.
Oh, you gonna apologize? Not apologize to me. Apologize to Sam.
I didn't like put it out there into the universe. I'm not the one who was commenting all the stuff. I literally just asked you. I didn't come on the podcast last week and say, haha, this is happening. I'm not spreading rumors.
So no apology?
I don't feel like it.
Okay. And I don't want this to come across as anti-Hawk Tuah girl because she's kind of growing on me. She's kind of objectively funny. But my boy, he's not caught up in all that media stuff. He's focused on ball.
And his girlfriend.
And his girlfriend, who he has.
Correct.
Who's not hosting the Talk to a podcast.
Correct.
All right, fine. That's all I wanted to clear up. Now you can start your football segment.
I don't want to anymore.
What'd you want to talk about?
Well, I had 2 things I wanted to talk about.
Maybe it's on my list.
Okay. Number 1, I just wanted to say that it was a great weekend in the Jansen household for sports. Colts won.
Yeah.
Packers won.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings lost.
Okay. What?
I know, but I had to say it. I'm so sorry, but I think it was good for them. I think they needed it.
I agree. So I will say this. That was the first thing I want to talk about after the Sam Darnold stuff. Vikings got their first loss.
Yep. I also said this last week on the show. I said I think it wouldn't hurt if they lost a game.
And like obviously we weren't going to go through the entire season undefeated, so losses were going to come. And well, yeah, it'd be great if we were breaking records, but it's not going to happen. So if we are going to lose a game, this is the way I want to lose a game.
Yeah.
We lost to who some people are saying the best team in the league is.
Yeah.
If that is the best that the NFL has to offer us and has to put up against the Vikings to try to stop us from winning a Super Bowl, if that's the best you got, I feel good. We lost by 2 points or 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was a close game.
For the most part, we shot ourselves in the foot. It was self-inflicted penalties. We beat ourselves. I don't feel like the Lions went out there, which I want to say something. I've been not anti-Lions, but Lions fans are getting a little too comfortable with being a winning program. Let's not forget how miserable you guys were. You came from nothing. Humble yourselves just a little bit, okay? You still haven't won anything. Let's calm down. You're a good program. I tip my cap. I like the culture you guys have there. It's a football culture. If you weren't in my division, I'd like you even more. Lions fans are getting a little too comfortable with the spotlight, and I don't love that. But this is a loss that we needed. There are some holes, and we'll be all right. Our team took a lot of punches, and we kept fighting. That's what I was happy about. So this is the happiest. I wouldn't say I'm happy, but this is the least down I've been about a loss in a very, very long time.
That's good.
Yeah, so I feel
That's
good
why
about that.
I didn't want to rub it in your face. I'm just saying it was a good weekend for us. You know, it would have been better if the Bears had a game and they lost too. That really
True.
would have been a great weekend, but they had a
Yeah.
bye.
They did.
Number 2, I want to talk about our favorite person to I can't say that. Never mind. Deshaun Watson.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Let's talk about. He was on my list of
Poor
let's talk
guy
about.
ruptured his Achilles.
Yeah, what do you
Out for the season, the second time he has had a season-ending injury like in a row.
Are you reading this from like Wikipedia?
2 seasons in a row. No, it was an NFL article,
There you
okay?
go. Look at you. You're reading NFL stuff. Come on, JJ. Let's go.
Okay, I just looked it up because we were talking about him last week. That's why I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if he had a really bad game again.
So he was actually playing decent before he got hurt.
Was he? Because this article made it sound like he has had an underwhelming start to the past 3 seasons, is what it
Oh, yeah, no, he's like, don't get me wrong. He's been terrible, but this was by far the best he's played all year for the first, quarter and a half until he got hurt. So Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles. He's out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson, in my eyes, has played his last snap of professional football.
You think so?
He will never step foot on the field
How
again.
does that work with their contracts, though? Like, if he signed a 5-year contract, do they have to pay him out of that?
Yes, that's been the big thing with Deshaun. That's why they kept playing him, because he signed this massive contract.
Yeah.
And they were like, if we have this much money tied up in him already, let's just play him. Like, we have to.
Mm-hmm.
The controversy here, though, and this is an interesting conversation. When he got hurt and was being carted off,
He was wiping his tears with the towel.
yes, and the Cleveland fans were cheering rather loudly.
Yeah, that's never a good look.
But it's such a weird spot to be in, because I think I wouldn't feel right cheering if I was there, but I'm also not a Browns fan. I don't know what it's been like having to weirdly root for this guy for a little bit now. I think both sides are kind of right here, because there were people in the locker room after the game who were on the Browns, like his backup quarterback, Myles Garrett, one of their star defenders. They were having Deshaun's back. They're like, that's pretty messed up that the fans were cheering. This man just lost a year of his football career, and he's probably done, to be honest. And after putting in so much work to get back to this point, like, they see him every day. They see him work. Obviously, he's done some very messed up things, very unforgivable things. So it's a weird spot to be in. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it.
I just think, like, in sports, especially a sport like football where it is so dangerous, I don't think you should ever be cheering when someone gets hurt.
I agree.
You never know, like, the severity of the situation. I get that he didn't, like, hit his head or something, but still, like, I don't know. I don't think it's
it's a little different.
you don't ever want to wish that upon someone. And
I
it
agree.
kind of gives the idea that they were, you know?
Oh, they 100% were, and that's
Yeah.
I'm with you, but I
I
also see
understand, yeah, but
where the fans are coming from because I don't know. I think it's a bad look, but not really, like almost a justified bad look.
I agree. I don't think it'll probably look great for their, what do they call, like, their,
Fan base, organization.
yes,
There you
that's
go.
what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Not a great look for their organization.
So yeah, that happened. Sidebar, our boy, the father of NFL Red Zone, Scott Hanson commented on our videos. What do you have to say about that?
I'm honored.
He said that you need to give it a shot. You need to watch NFL Red Zone. So you
Maybe
can go
next
watch him.
weekend. Okay.
Okay. Just Scott says so you have to listen to him. Before there's one other NFL headline I want to get to, and then I want to give my top 3, my power ranking of the top 3 NFL teams, and maybe you can do the same if you want, who you think the best 3 teams in football are. We can kind of do that every week. Before we do that
I
though,
don't think I am educated enough to do that.
you don't have to. Just saying maybe.
That sounds like the haters are gonna come running.
Okay. All right. You can sit
Time
that one
to
out. Maybe
avoid the
next week.
haters a little bit.
One thing that was a big storyline this week is with the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers, your old pal. Another old pal of yours and another old pal of his, Devontae Adams, was traded to the Jets to go hang out with his old buddy, Aaron Rodgers. So they're best friends. They're going on this little tour of like, look, we're getting the gang back together. Me and Aaron Rodgers has done this with a lot of Packers.
There are
There's about
even the season that he left, he took
Mhm.
who did he take?
Alan Lazard is there.
There was
A lot of
somebody who's
linemen.
like a lot of Packers fans love.
Bakhtiari, did he go?
I don't know. I can't think of his name at the moment.
But yeah, so he brought a lot of his pals to go play within the Jets. The Jets are now 2-5. How do you feel about just recruiting your friends to come play with you and then also being bad? Because at this point, if you're the Jets, you got to stop listening to Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
It's
I
not
just
working.
think like everybody listens to Aaron Rodgers.
Why?
I don't know. People literally think he's like God.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to see when you're in it. Like, not that I thought he
Because
was
you were
God,
in it.
but like being a Packers fan, like he was running the show and then he leaves and everybody's like, oh gosh, like he's really not a great, like, I don't know. I think he's super self-centered and I think that's why he's like, let me get all my guys over here.
I feel like Packers fans almost got out of a cult type of situation. And then now they're looking back and
We
they're
were
like,
all doing ayahuasca together.
yeah, they're like, wait, why did we put up with that?
Yeah. I
Why
mean,
did
he
we
was
do those
good. Like he was
things?
a very good
Because
quarterback.
they offer a lot of good things. He offers potential Super Bowls. He offers
But he's
playoff wins.
also just like, I don't think he's a great guy. I don't know. I don't know him personally. I can't say that, but
Aaron Rodgers might be a cult leader.
potentially.
That might be because everywhere he goes, he promises all these things like we're gonna win playoff games, Super Bowls.
I do
I'm gonna
think
bring
it's
my
really
buddies
weird
in
that
here.
these other players are just like kind of blindly following him.
Yeah. I mean,
Strange.
Devontae Adams went from a dysfunctional 2-5 team to a
Another
dysfunctional 2-5 team. He went from Las Vegas to
Is he
New
going
York.
to like get more playing time or something? Like, what's the goal there?
No, he's arguably wide receiver 2 for the Jets. He would have been wide receiver 1 for the Raiders all year long, but
Interesting.
who knows? Maybe they turn it around, but that was just something I wanted to mention. In terms of top 3, since I'll just give mine real quick. I posted this on Instagram earlier. I think Chiefs won, by far the best team in football, even though they're playing poorly. They're not playing the best football out of anyone, but they're undefeated, the only undefeated team left, and they're still winning football games. They beat the Niners this week. They're winning.
It was
Number
kind
2,
of close though.
It was. The Niners are a good football team. They're just
Their
struggling to
record is not
close.
great though. Yeah.
It's very interesting with them, and they just lost Brandon Ayuk for the season, which is not good for them. Not good for my fantasy team. Number 2, I'm going to tip my cap. The Lions. They beat us. They're 5-1 as well. I'm excited to play them again. Hopefully 3 times. We'll hopefully see them in the playoffs. But I'll tip my cap. Lions fans, don't say I never did anything nice for you. You're number 2, and then number 3, Vikings, and then everybody else. I think that they are a tier above everybody else right now. Maybe you can argue the Ravens, but they've got a bad loss in there
How are
that
the Eagles doing?
they're so up and down. One week it's like tank,
Unpredictable.
the season's over, and then this week they
Mm.
blow out a team they should blow out, but um they're so hard to predict. It just feels like dysfunction. They have a lot of talent,
Have they
but not.
lost some leadership? Like, do you think
Yes,
Jason Kelsey, like, he's last, like,
that's actually a very good point. Yes, they don't. Their coach is a wild card. He is a madman, one of the most
is he
unlikable
new?
players. No, he's been there for a couple of years. He went to the Super Bowl with them 2 years ago.
Okay.
But he's just a very unlikable douchebag, and he
Oh,
just. I think he's lost the locker room, and then that's going to lead to a lot of. I wouldn't trust them come playoff time.
well, great, because I think that's who I have winning.
Yeah, it is. You have
Okay.
them winning it all. All right, let's shift gears now into book territory. Before we hop into people we meet on vacation, I want to talk a little bit about uh, our comment section on the Read Option TikTok, which
Oh, yeah.
everyone go follow. Please check that out. I'll link it in the description. All that good stuff. Question for you, Jenna. What's the deal with this Verity book? Because my goodness,
I
the
know
females have
everybody was
come
commenting that they were hoping that was the movie that was gonna get made,
in waves. They
which,
are coming out saying we need Verity. We need talk about Verity. What's the craze for this book?
um, it's a thriller written by Colleen Hoover as well, and it's really, like, her only thriller. Like, every other story she writes is r straight romance,
Okay.
and I think this just threw people for a loop because they were used to reading Colleen Hoover romance, and it's, like, a mind-blowing thriller.
They love this book.
It's a great book.
I'm still getting comments like it's still going right now. It's like where's Verity? So we announced that Colin Hoover is making they're making the movie for what was it? Reminders of Him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so comment I just got right now. Let's read all these. I was hoping for Verity. Where is Verity? We need Verity. That's all they want. And there's a few other ones they're tossing out there, but my goodness.
Mhm.
We got to make this movie. Aren't they? Are they trying to?
I haven't heard anything about it. I mean, how many Colleen Hoover I just
I don't know. Listen to the people.
I
Make
no, I
Verity.
agree. I think that's super interesting though because Reminders of Him wasn't one that was like it's a great book, but she has a
Mhm.
lot of great books that are romances.
Yeah.
So I do think it's interesting that they would choose that one.
Weird choice.
Kinda.
Gotcha. I was just wondering because this is where I felt.
It's
I'm
a
like, I don't
great
know what's
book,
happening.
and it would be a
No,
great movie.
I'm in. We got maybe add that to our potential reading list.
I've already read
You've
it.
already read it. Yeah. Never
You
mind.
could read it.
I might. All right. Let's talk about what we are reading though for the first time. People we meet on vacation.
Yep.
I have a few questions, kind of starters that I would go with. Where do you want to start? I guess we can catch people up on where we're at if they've read the book. We're about 2/3 of the way through.
I would say
This
we're yeah,
this section
maybe
that
even a
we got
little
through
more.
this maybe a little bit more. The two main characters, Poppy and Alex, they go on
We only have like
these
120 pages left.
perfect.
Okay.
They go on vacations every summer with each other. They're like best friends. And this is constant of like, will they, won't they? Like, what's happening here? And then we're just getting more backstory of all the different trips they've gone on over the years. There was this big fight that happened on
In
this timeline
Croatia.
3 years ago or two?
3 years ago because they didn't talk for 2 years, right?
Yes. So that makes you think 2 years ago. Whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
A couple years ago, big fight or something happened, and then they didn't talk, and now they're going on vacation again to
We
this
don't
wedding.
know what this big fight was yet.
Yes, we have not figured that out yet. We're now at the point, though, in the current timeline where we ended. Cliffhanger. They just made out on the balcony.
Mhm.
Wild.
Yeah.
So where do you want to go with this? I can get this started, or any thoughts from this section of the book?
Yes, but I want you to start with, are your questions kind of general?
Yes.
Okay, start with that because I have something like very specific I wanted to talk about.
Okay. So obviously during this whole section of the book where just basically it's just building tension. That's all we're getting here is like the backstory, which I'm gonna be honest, Jenna, I'm
It's a
getting a
little
little.
boring.
I wouldn't even say boring. It's just frustrating
Yeah,
because once I'm getting to a good part of the current timeline, I flip the
it
page and the
bounces
next
back.
chapter is like 5 years ago, and I'm
Yeah,
like, no, let's just keep going. So it's just like it's a you were going. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Two
yeah.
steps forward, 1 step back, and I just want to go 3 steps forward and like full steam ahead. So that's a little frustrating for me,
Mhm.
um, especially right now where we left this cliffhanger. They kiss, and then it's like 5 years later. Like the next chapter is 5 years later. I'm
No,
like,
5 years
dude.
earlier.
Okay, sorry, 5 years ago,
Yeah,
5 summers ago.
yeah.
So my question for you, at this point in the story, who are you rooting for? Poppy, Alex, or both?
At this point in the story, I think my mind has been changed about how it's going to end.
Okay.
I think they're gonna end up together. I think
All
they're gonna
signs point to that.
kiss, they're gonna do whatever, something's gonna blow up again, and then they're gonna come back together at the end and be like, "No, we're in love." I think that's what's gonna
Are
happen.
you rooting for that though? Do you want that to
Not
happen?
really. Not
So
really. I'm
so who
rooting more for Alex than I am for Poppy.
okay, I'm glad you said that because me too.
Mhm.
Poppy is I'm gonna
She's a
say this
lot.
quiet.
I don't know if I'd get along with her in real life.
She is pissing me off right now,
She's
Jenna.
a lot.
She's so she wants it all. She wants this best friend, but also the second he's happy and like with someone else, she's
Mhm.
like, nope, not today. But then she won't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Make up your mind. She's so indecisive. She's pissing me off, and she wants her cake and what's the phrase? You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yes.
She's doing all that. She wants it all. She
Mhm.
wants her cake and she wants to eat it too because it's just too much. I'm like, just do something about it. She's just doing this whole push and pull thing. And Alex is just he's a simple man.
He
He's
really is just a
and
simple
I
guy.
think there's a little sadness there on with him. And I think
Mhm.
she's playing into that and
Mhm.
she's
I
mm,
also get the impression, like, I know they're both really good friends, like, whatever,
mhm.
but I just get the impression that she doesn't know as much about him as she thinks she does. Like,
Yeah.
I don't yeah, like, something's missing there where I feel like he knows everything about her, and she's, like, not as good of a friend,
Yes, I
and
think
it's kinda bothering me.
she's way more invested in their potential romantic relationship than she is their friendship. She doesn't care about their friendship. If there was no she
No,
keeps
she
talking about
goes
this
from
like
saying, like, "I if I just have him in my life a little bit, that's
yeah.
enough," and then she
She
says
keeps
something that completely contradicts herself, and I'm like,
she
"That's
keeps
not
saying
what
like
you think. It's not how
we
you."
have this like 5% what if. That's all she wants. If there was 0% what if,
Yeah,
she'd be out the door.
I agree.
And it's bothering me. And maybe I'm being too harsh on her. And maybe she'll turn around. But
I
right
don't
now
know,
I'm just
also, it's like the main character of a book, you're supposed to be probably a little too harsh.
yeah,
It's kind of the
fair.
point.
Nitpicking a little bit.
Wait, this kind of touches on what we're talking about, what I wanted to bring up,
Okay.
is the ex-girlfriend,
Yes,
Alex's
Sarah.
ex-girlfriend. I cannot imagine my boyfriend having a girl best friend like that and going on trips with her. Poppy was like,
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous that what's her name? Alex?
Sarah.
Oh god. That Sarah doesn't want him to go on this trip with me, and I'm like, I think that's totally normal.
Yeah. I would be almost concerned if she wasn't concerned.
I know. And she's like, he talks to her 2 times a day on the phone, but never in front of me. I'm like, also so fair. If that were my
Yeah.
boyfriend, we'd be on constant FaceTime.
Yeah.
You're not going on a vacation with another girl. Like, that's just weird to me.
Yeah, they're doing a lot. And like
They're doing the most.
there's ways to handle that and still even maybe potentially go on a trip without like they are way too romantically involved even if they're not
I agree.
for that to be okay.
Yeah.
But is what it is. Do you think we'll see her in like in the current timeline or only in these
So
flashbacks?
I'm wondering if we'll see her, whatever they do, what they do soon in like the chapter
Wedding?
we're on. And then I think something's going to happen. Yeah, probably with the wedding. There's got to be some sort of like conflict that happens
Mm-hmm.
before we get to the resolution at the end.
Yeah, but it doesn't
I wonder if that has anything to do with her.
when they bring her up, it doesn't sound like she's the impetus of the fight. It doesn't sound like she's the reason
I
they
don't
were
think so
fighting.
either. And I also don't know that they were fighting because something happened between them.
I still can't figure it out.
I know. I have no
They're like,
idea what it could possibly be.
I don't know. Because I do think at some points it feels like someone said something or
Yeah,
between
admitted to
them.
having feelings or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it feels like there's just this other external event that happened and we just haven't been the same. I'm like, would you witness a murder and then like you just couldn't get over? I don't know. I'm worried it's going to be underwhelming, the event, and not worthy of a 2-year no contact.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Only other thing I want to bring up, and this goes back to one of the big reasons we're reading this book is because there's a movie being made about it right now. Currently, like this is the
Did
reason
I
I
know
put this on
that?
my list. Yes.
Oh, I didn't remember
There's
that I knew
the
that.
reason this was on my list was because they are currently like starting
Oh my god,
production.
I didn't remember that I knew that. Do you wanna go see it together?
When it comes out, sure, yeah, we can do a live screening, like I can do a live.
That's illegal.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
There's ways around that. But yeah, I think that's the reason why it was on my list. But
Who's
uh,
making it? Like, is it like a streaming service or is it like coming out in theaters?
that's a good question. But okay, this is good for you because I know who the main actor is.
The
I'm not gonna
guy or
tell
the
you right now.
girl?
The guy. I know who's
Oh.
playing Alex.
Is it a
Uh,
well-known actor?
I wouldn't say well known, not A-list for sure, but I know what he looks like. I know what he's been in recently. I'm not gonna tell you so you don't have this image, but when I'm reading the book, I have that
Wait,
image in
now
my
I
head.
wanna look it up.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I do.
It's I don't know how to pronounce Tom Blythe or Tom Blythe,
Tom Blythe.
who he's in the new Hunger Games one. He plays President Snow, Cornelius.
I haven't seen those.
Looks like it's gonna be a Netflix movie.
Ugh,
Sorry.
damn.
And
Oh, yeah, I know who he is. I mean, how tall is he? I imagine Alex being very tall.
yeah, I think he's tall. He's fairly tall.
He's 6 foot.
I could see it. I don't know who's directed by Brett Haley. He did all the
I just
bright
think
places.
sometimes all the what?
All the bright places.
Wait, I read
Never
that.
heard of it. He directed it. Or
Oh,
directed the
interesting.
movie.
I don't know that I've seen it though. I think sometimes Netflix movies are either a hit or a miss. Like
I agree.
it could come out as being super cheesy. I hope they
Yeah.
avoid that.
So that's leads into my concern with this movie. There is a big plot device or reoccurring thing in this book that I think could be so incredibly cringy when they try to replicate it into a movie.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
You know what do you think it
It's
is?
the puppy dog face.
No, the puppy dog face.
Yeah.
I'm cringing just thinking about it. Like
Oh,
what like
Tom.
this act Tom has to be sitting here reading that book saying, "Fuck. I have to find this face that somehow isn't weird, but it's cute enough to like pass off as I'm already like, oh, this is gonna be bad,
That's
isn't
such
it?
a good point.
That's all I can think about every time they
Oh,
bring up
man.
the face. Because I'm like, they can't not have it in the movie. It's a big part of this.
It happens like almost every chapter.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he's doing the face. He's doing the. I'm like, oh
She's
no.
like, you know, that always gets to me.
Yeah, that's how I imagined Poppy talks.
We're really
Oh,
shredding her.
I know. I
Pieces,
feel bad.
and I'm glad she's not a real person.
Yeah, I know. I'm like
I'm
feeling
super
bad as
glad
if she's
right now that she's
like,
fictional.
oh, she's probably watching right now. Oh,
She's
because
gonna
that's what I
see this.
That's my biggest concern with my Batchmaker show. I'm like, I can't be too mean because
Well, that's
there's a
why I
decent
was talking
chance.
even about the football players.
Yeah, like there's a small chance
Yeah.
they less of a
Sometimes I
chance for the
forget that
football
they're real
players.
people.
But yeah, when I do the Batchmakers, I'm like, they're probably gonna see this. But yeah, so I don't feel bad because she's not real.
Yeah. I hope we
But
don't
yeah,
hurt Emily Henry's feelings, but
I don't think we will.
she'll be okay.
I mean, we're reading her book. We just bought 2 copies of her book.
It's true.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's something I've been thinking about a lot. So I keep thinking about how it's gonna be adapted. I do have him in mind. I know the name of the actress, but I don't know vividly what she looks like. So I don't want to go into that yet. I won't do that. But Emily Bader is her name. If you want- But I don't show me. I don't want to look her up. All right. Anything else with the book that you want to talk about before we wrap up?
It's not what I expected.
Really? Don't tell me anything.
Nothing?
Don't give me anything. I want to finish the book before I make
Okay.
this
That's
from
fair.
what she looks like. And speaking of, we will finish the book this week. I'm excited. So everyone, next week, if you've been waiting for us because you've read
Finale.
the book, the finale, we will set up a way where we give a full review. Like we go through, like, what do you like? Let's score this, and we'll figure out a scoring system, stuff like this. So as we do more books, we can like post our reviews and compare them to other
God.
stuff.
Okay.
I'm making it sound more dramatic than it is. It's just going to be a way to set
I'm
like
like
the way
a
we set up the show.
overall 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
So,
what I do.
it's just so we can compare when we do another book. Like, how does this compare? Do we rank this higher than the other one, and stuff like that. So, if you've read the book and you've been watching and you've been sitting patiently waiting to discuss the entirety of the book, next week's your week. And yeah,
I'm
I think
pumped.
I'm excited.
I think I might finish it tonight.
I'll be so honest. I might too. Like. Like this show has worked wonders on me because it has transformed my attitude towards reading.
I love
I'm
that.
quite thoroughly enjoying
I
this.
love that. It's
And
really fun when you talk to somebody about it too.
yeah, it's fun. And then now I'm like, I want to know where this goes.
Yeah.
It's like if I stopped a movie at halftime
Wait,
and I was like,
question though. Do you think we should put out another what should we read next to like get ahead of it a bit?
yes, I
Okay.
was gonna put that out. So I'll replace. So what we talked about before is
I want to pick
you
new
pick.
ones.
So I was either because we talked about if they pick my book, then you just pick the next book.
Yeah.
I still like there should be a vote still.
I don't disagree. I'll just come
Do
up
you
with
want to
other options. Mine were so
do you want
quick
to
last time.
put up 2 books and just have those 2 vote, or do you want me to put 2 books
No,
up
because
again?
I still think that other one that you put up sounds interesting.
Shoe Dog?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that one and then
No, you can come up with another one. We can just do
or how about I just keep that until and then once both of yours are removed from the list, then you add 2 more. Because what if because then Shoe Dog could be stuck on that list for a while if I keep adding like good ones. So we'll do.
You've lost me. Am I giving you 2 books?
You can change yours, yes, but we'll
Okay.
do. I'll just put up Shoe Dog,
Okay.
and until
So
both of mine are gone,
let the
and then I'll add
people
2 more.
let the people vote on my 2 down to 1, and then they can vote on Shoe Dog or the one of mine.
Good call. I like that
Okay.
because Shoe Dog got a lot of votes last time.
It did. A lot of people were
Yeah.
commenting that.
Yeah, so we'll put. Give me 2 books. I'll put that up for a vote. So everyone, make sure we're following Good Time on Instagram. And then we'll put that against Shoe Dog, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Ready, break. We'll see you guys next week. And yeah, be ready to talk about the book. Peace.